welcome to Canada Cafe, where you get to listen to a forgetful old woman tell you her stories in an effort to try to remember Canada language words. Today's word is talme. Talme is a Canada word meaning patience, if I have it right. Now, you tell me if I'm wrong. And you may be familiar with the fact that I have enjoyed rescuing dogs for probably 30 years, 25 anyway. And there was one dog that was the hardest to place out of all the dogs I had because I needed Tumba Tome for this guy. Poor little guy. Found him running around on the road in Ohio, the state where I've lived most of my life. And he was really cute. He was a little bit short. Not a small dog by any means. Most people would consider him mid-size. But he was built like a barrel. And he had these fairly kind of short legs. And he was about 50 pounds. I'm not sure what that is in kilograms, but he was pretty heavy for his size. He wasn't in bad shape when I took him off the road, but I soon found out that he was going to be quite the challenge. And the reason was that he was so anxious that he jumped on everybody and everything all the time. And when he wasn't jumping, he was licking you. Licking. And that was cute at first, then it was extremely annoying. So from the beginning, I had the first clue that I was going to need lots and lots of talme with this dog. I decided to name him Freckle. I named him Freckle because of his red and white coloring. If I can, I'll show you a picture of him. And Freckle was a good boy inside. He was a very, very good boy. He loved people, but evidently people had let him down quite a bit because he just never knew exactly what to expect of you. And he's always trying to find some way to communicate with you what he wanted. So he would bounce off of you. He could jump fairly high for a dog his size and weight. He would bounce off of you, he'd bounce off of walls, he'd bounce off of doors, he'd jump up and down off of furniture, and he was not housebroken either. So I realized very quickly that he could not stay inside. So I had a sun porch where my dogs that stayed outside most of the time, they could stay in there to stay out of the weather. And they had free access to a very large front yard that I had fenced in order to be able to keep my dogs off of the road and give them lots of exercise room. Poor Freckle. It took him a whole year of being outdoors with 3 other dogs in order to finally calm down enough to lower his energy level enough where I could start letting him back in on a regular basis so as to get him house trained. And I think he also might have had some kind of a urinary tract infection or something, but he did okay. I mean, he was a fairly healthy dog, so he finally got it. He got housebroken, and I was able to finally mostly control the jumping. Jumping is very important to teach a dog not to do, especially for me, because I had a 94-year-old grandmother living in the house with me. And if a dog of any size just bumped her, she could fall and break a hip or an arm or something else. So, training my dogs to be gentle and not too boisterous around people was very important to me. Jumping on people was not an option in my household. So he did really good with that. And so then I finally found an adopter for him. You know, I usually I'll find homes for dogs that I find, and if the dog is really good, I keep it. But Freckle was not my kind of dog. He kind of got on my nerves with his high energy level and the fact that he would always stare at me. He would stare at me when I would watch TV, when I'd look at my phone, when I'd just be chilling on the couch. He would stare at me and he wouldn't stop. He's always trying to figure out what I was going to do next or what I wanted him to do. So that kind of a stare down gets pretty tiring after a while for somebody like me who doesn't have loads and loads of Dalmay. I get tired sometimes and irritable, and you know, I have my times where I just don't have so much Dalmay. So anyway, I finally found someone who was willing to take him. Who was an older lady. She thought he was cute, and I thought surely I found him a good home. He was out in the country, and there was a young girl that came to visit her grandma every once in a while, and she just loved him. So I thought, good, I found him a home. A few days later, I get a call. Can you please take him back? He was too much energy, too much, too heavy, still liked to bump against people, and this older lady just could not handle him safely. So I said, yeah, I always have the guarantee that if something doesn't work out with a dog, that I will take it back. I'll take it back and I'll find it another home. Because I don't want somebody to just drop the dog off again. So I took him back, worked with him some more, found a second home, and this family had him for a weekend, called me up, said, can you take him back again? And I thought, this is the only dog I've ever had that's been returned twice. He's probably not adoptable. So I kept him for quite a while, and actually he stayed with me almost until I came to India. He was with me probably 3 years, and but he's slowly getting more controllable, more likable. Still, he stopped licking so much because I wouldn't allow it. He'd sneak one in once in a while. If he'd see an exposed hand, or if you're wearing shorts or something, he would start licking. I'd say no, and he'd bring that tongue back in, and then I don't know if it was sheer defiance or what, but he had to do it once more. He cracked me up. So maybe Freckle had as much Dalmay with me as I had Dalmay with him. He was just a different kind of dog. I think he was part Australian cattle dog, and they're intense dogs. So anyway, shortly before I came to India, I tried again to place him. And these people called actually about another dog that I was trying to place, and they described a dog that they used to have that had died, and they were mourning that dog. The woman, it was her dog. It was a boxer dog, and they're beautiful dogs. And she described how this dog just loved to climb up on you and lick you all over, and she said she really was missing that. And I said, well, you don't want this one dog, Johnny. Who you want is Freckle. He sounds perfect for you. And she said, why? I said, because he loves to give you kisses all the time. She says, oh, I miss that so much. So I was like, yeah, this is gonna work. They brought in a German Shepherd that was in the family already to see if they would get along. And they had a little bit of a adjustment period there, but it wasn't so difficult that they didn't think they could overcome it, and they took Freckle away. And they called me later, sent me a picture of him just chilling on the sofa with her husband. They said, we love him. He is part of the family. And I was so happy about that Freckle finally got a home that liked his little quirks. So with a little Thalme, you find that things work out. If you just wait long enough, keep trying hard enough, you'll find your perfect situation. And that's what happened for little Freckle. If you're working with an animal that seems difficult, don't give up. Trying to find a job, it's just not developing for you. Keep working on it. Eventually, things will work out, one way or another. So, thank you very much for listening to me, and I enjoyed this chat with you. So, thank you so much for spending this time, and until the next time, I'll see you again, speaking another Canada word. Welcome to Canada Welcome to Canada Cafe Kate. No, welcome to Canada Kate Cafe. Where I forget for all. Shoot.